Hello, it's back. We're back. We're doing it again. I've changed clothes. I'm washed. Aren't you lucky? I'm sure
Yes.
you're going to reap the benefits. And we are talking Tyranids now. This one I am very, very excited about. I hear a very loud buzzing sound. I'm not sure what that is. I have written up the Gamehammer review for the Subterranean Assault, so I've been able to spend a little bit of time with this detachment already. And fortunately for me, this is awesome. It's a really fun set of rules. I think it's really exciting for Tyranids players. I know one of the things Tyranids players have been bemoaning of late is options, and this is radically different, I think, to other things that Tyranids currently have access to. So in that sense, very, very, very exciting indeed. And so we're going to be getting into that and unpacking it. It's very different. You're going to want Trygons. You're going to want Morlocks. Hopefully that's exciting news for you Tyranid mains. Let us know what you think in the chat. Please do hit the old like and subscribe. Please do leave us a comment. We appreciate you people. I saw that Phil W has signed up as a YouTube member. That's amazing. Thank you, Phil W. If you want to sign up as a YouTube member, support the channel as we go about our busyness and try and provide lovely content for you, we'd love you to do so. We're pushing on in the hundreds. We're having a great time. We'd love to have some more. So yeah, Tyranids players, do pipe up. Let me know what you're thinking. Obviously, Davey will be back very soon to go in depth on this in Bugwatch. I have no doubt. But yeah, this is very potent, guys. Straight off the bat, I like this. I think this is very spicy. I think Tyranids will have fun. So, Subterranean Assault. When the Hive Fleet's organisms descend, no place is truly safe from their wrath. As the lands swarm and writhe, and the skies are clouded with winged monstrosities, other foes advance unseen below. Morlocks, Raveners, and Trygons burst from the ground to emerge in the midst of clustered defenders, scything apart and devouring screaming victims before they can raise their weapons in defense, sowing crippling fear and confusion through those that witness the unexpected violence. So this rocks. It's all about the tunnel organisms. It's all about the burrowers. It's all about the attack from below. So, detachment rules: surprise assault. Each time a Tyranid model from your army makes an attack, reroll a hit roll of 1. That's just good as a start point, right? That's just offensive boost across the board. Every Tyranid unit loves this. I think there's not a lot of rerolls in Tyranids. I think not pure strains, real gene stealers have it. But I don't know if anyone else does. Exocrines can give it to each other, but even your first Exocrine is going to have this now. Your shooting likes this, your melee likes this. This is just good, right, Scriv?
Yeah. Nice and flexible, which is nice.
Yeah, this detachment, I'd say that's one thing I'll say out the bat. I don't know where this detachment goes. I think there are a lot of different ways you can actually play this because the buffs are so flexible in that sense. But now we have the juice, which is the tunnel system, guys. Each time a burrower unit, and that is Trygons, Raveners, and Morlocks, is set up on the battlefield from reserves, you place a tunnel marker anywhere on the battlefield within 1 inch of that unit and more than 3 inches away horizontally from all enemy units. In the reinforcement step, whenever any other units are coming in from reserve, they can be set up within 9 of the tunnel marker and more than 6 away from enemy units. So, any NID unit can come in from these tunnels, effectively giving you deep strike rather than strat reserves for anything. And they can 6-inch charge things when they do so. So again, the applications for this are crazy, right? We've all been talking about Death Shroud lately. We know demons are good. Those two armies both take advantage of 6-inch deep striking. Tyranids now get it as well. Phenomenally powerful delivery tool, but also this gets anything you want closer to the lines, right? Whether that's OC2 or shooting bugs, lots of different things. They're like GSC blips. If an enemy gets within 3 of them, they go away. So there is that caveat, right? They can be destroyed, and obviously you're going to need Trygon, Morlocks, Raveners, some variation of these things in order to apply it. But all those things are great in this attachment, is the good news. Yeah.
You just can't rapid ingress into them. That's the only downside to them.
Yeah,
which
you can't
I
ingress.
Fine.
If Tyranid players are worrying about a lack of rapid ingress, I advise reading the other things in this detachment, and also the new Raveners data sheets, because you have rapid ingress coming out your arse now.
Yeah.
So, and yes, as Chris Cad in the chat says, new Raveners get the Burrower keyword. When we were writing the detachment review, we didn't have that. We were assuming they were going to get it. And to be honest, yes, they've got that. They're also more dangerous than they've ever been. So they're just, Raveners look really good. But we'll talk about Raveners on the show tonight.
New models coming out.
New models. Right? There is. They're a kill team, and they got a big glow up. Very sexy glow up. So, a little bit of a scroll down script because there's a couple of other bits with this one that matter as well. So, Morlock and Trygon units get the Burrower keyword as established, but a nice fun additional twist. In the Muster Army set, you can pick 2 Trygon to become characters. So you're going to get Trygon that you can put enhancements on. Really nice. Some good buffs in here. And one of them could be your Warlord as well. So Trygon characters are going to be lots of fun. We'll get into
Yes.
now. This was, I think, a slam dunk. When I reviewed it, I was like, the only issue you're going to have is deciding which 3 to take. They're awesome. So, synaptic strategy, possessing an exceptionally acute connection to the hive mind, like Davey, this creature benefits from a constant influx of sensory data, enabling it to traverse the battlefield and emerge at the place and time of maximum impact. Tyranids model gets a free rapid ingress, and you can do it even if you have already ingressed something else.
Nice.
Double rapid ingress. Raveners also get an ability to this effect, I believe. So you can have a mass rapid ingress in Tyranids now, which is going to be intriguing. I'm intrigued to see how that plays. Next up, Tremor senses from its concealed position beneath the battlefield. This bioform picks up on subtle traces of movement from enemy forces. Anyone ever watched the movie Tremors? I love that film. Impelling its fellow organisms to reposition themselves in preparation for coordinated assault. This is a 3-unit redeploy, and it allows you to distract reserves. Now, these are, I love this with the Primus in GSC. This will be exactly the same. The big boost is you can get more than half your army in reserves if you want to. Right, so if you're in a matchup where you're like, I can hit with a whole bunch of stuff, I'm not worried about getting screened out. You can put tons more stuff into the tunnels and then start using the tunnel makers to bring stuff in. Next up, Vanguard Intellect. I'd love to say that's me after my Vanguard Onslaught adventure, but perhaps not. This bioform uses its own keen senses and predatory instinct to burrow into position and strike before the enemy can react. This is a Tyranids model with Deep Strike. It can be set up in the first, second, or third movement phase, regardless of any mission rules. So that, with the Trygon character, for example, is going to help you get a tunnel set up turn 1, right? You can put a tunnel somewhere, bring this Trygon in, start the party a little bit early. I think that's going to be useful just to give you more options, and obviously it means the opponent has to be screening you and worrying about deep strike or ingress immediately. There's definitely other things you can apply it to as well. So I think it's really, really good, really, really nice. Finally, Trygon Prime. People remember Trygon Primes? They were a thing, right? Only rarely manifested by the hive fleets, the Trygon Prime possesses a greatly enhanced synaptic network within its neural cortex, enabling it to more precisely coordinate the assaults of burrowing Tyranid creatures. Trygon model only, he gets Synapse. I'd missed that the first time out. That's nice in and of itself. Then he gets Strength and Weapon Skill boosts of 1. So this is a Trygon that hits on 2s for Strength 11, big slashy damage 3 claws. He rerolls his 1s in this detachment. He will blend. That is a very scary unit and gets more Synapse in. I think something I've talked about with NIDS players before is a lot of the NIDS detachments use Shadow in the Warp to kind of kneecap you in the final turn or 2 of the game. Vanguard Onslaught was always different, where like it tries to use Shadows early to essentially try and table someone, right? Yeah. I think this detachment can definitely build a list that plays that way as well, where you go very heavy, you get a lot of Synapse in their face in turn 2, then use Shadows. If they don't get out of it there, it's Jenga. And obviously Trygon Prime can help you do that. What do you think of the enhancement script?
I think they're all really good. That's a lovely problem to have. Like, looking at it going, I'd like that in any army, which is nice. Because often there is a duff one at least. But
yeah, absolutely. I think very, very strong, and it's just a case of what you pick. And to say, ultimately, there's really, really good applications for all of these. So it's going to be interesting trying to figure that out. All right, let's get down into the strategies. We have adaptive optimization. On occasions where subterranean assaults are deemed tactically useful, the hive mind may spontaneously alter its burrowing organisms, allowing them to act as beacons for its will. So command phase buff, you can just pop Synapse on a Morlock or a Trygon. Again, most of the game, this isn't going to come up. Every now and again it will, if you're worried about battle shot or if you're trying to set up a big Shadows turn. That's how I see this being most useful. You're going to have a turn where you're like, I want Shadows, I want Synapse here. For Shadows, I pop it here. So very, very useful. Probably a once or twice a game at most kind of strat. Next up, replenishing swarms. You pick in your movement phase a Tyranids unit wholly within 9 of a tunnel marker. It can heal D3+1 wounds or return up to D3+1 destroyed models with a wound characteristic of 1 to your unit. Good, just good. A little bit of healing. This is defensive buffs are probably what this attachment lacks, if anything. I think it's got a lot going for it, so I'm not too worried about that. But being able to grow back or heal a monster if you take some damage, always nice, right? Get that critical mass moment. Next up, we have Enfilading Emergence. Emerging from the depths, Tyranid bioforms level their weapon morphs and spit hissing volleys of living ammunition into the exposed backs of outflanked preys. End of your movement phase, pick a Tyranid unit that's come up from reinforcements that turn. It gets sustained, hits 1, and ignores cover. Just good. Just nice. Just a bit of sustained on a unit is a good thing to get. Ignores cover is a good thing to get. There are plenty of Tyranids units that will like this. You can use it in combat or you can use it in shooting. Again, flexible. And obviously, one of the things NIDS players always say is Invasion Fleet's got sustain. Nothing else does. Ergo, I want Invasion Fleet. You can get a bit of sustain here if you need it. New Raveners come with sustain built in. I think you'll have enough sustain to tide you over in this detachment if you want it. Next up, Tunnel Network 1CP. Taking advantage of freshly burrowed tunnels, Tyranid bioforms move swiftly across the landscape, emerging in unexpected locations. This is really fun. So, end of your movement, you can pick up a Tyranid unit that's within... push underground a Tyranid unit that's within 9 of one of your tunnel markers, and it can appear within 9 of a different tunnel marker and 6 away from enemy units.
Downy uppy.
Yeah, downy uppy. Here we go. That's it. We've coined a new term. We've made history here on the show today.
Welcome,
Tell
guys.
everybody, downy uppy is real. It is real. Goodness gracious. Oh, Scrivo, is that the first terminology we've coined together on this show? It might be. That's pretty serious. That's pretty serious.
Won't be the last.
No, absolutely not. I mean, look, this is amazing because you can just switch up your attack. You can have something that's lurking further back that you can suddenly bring to the front. And I think, super flexible. If you can get multiple tunnels set up, this is going to catch people out and allow you to switch your angles of attack. And that's what this detachment's going to do really well. Hit the opponent in their weakest spots, I think. Really nice. Next up, Swarming Assault. Your charge phase. You pick a Tyranid monster. Everything within 6 of him gets reroll charge rolls. Obviously, the big sad with this detachment would be if you fail your 6-inch charges out of Deep Strike. You're going to make them, or you're going to be more likely to make them. Some would say very statistically likely to make them on everything within range of a monster. Really good. That just helps a lot, right? I think you'd rather spend this than one reroll somewhere and then fail a bunch of others.
It's the same sort of cost, right?
Yeah, exactly. So, really, really good. And just means that you're going to absolutely shove a load of Tyranids into their faces when you need it. Finally, Retreat Below. You can probably imagine what this is. End of opponent's fight phase. Pick 1 Tyranids unit or 2 Burrowers units, and they can go back into reserves. So, that's very, very nice. And of course, there are combination plays here that are worth pointing out, right? The deep striking big bugs and your come in turn 1 Trygon can combo this to launch a tunnels attack in turn 1 because you can pop some stuff back down, start hitting somewhere immediately. So this detachment is going to be really good at hitting you in different places and threatening to hit you all over the place and reallocating where it's going and fighting somewhere else, clearing an area, then going and fighting somewhere else. I think there's an awful lot going for it. New Raveners look really good. So I think there's an awful lot to be excited with this one. I mean, at first glance, Scrivo, how are you feeling about this? What do you think?
As a Space Marine player, I'm going, right, I have to build every list centered around at least 1 unit of infiltrators.
Yeah.
Otherwise, you just get embodied. Like, people are going to get right up in your face. And I think if an army has the ability to push people's deep striking further back, it's going to be vital now. It was already feeling pretty useful with the whole problem with Death Guard. Yeah. But this is just compiling that kind of. Yeah. We all need to be kind of looking into that. I think in army builds now.
I think absolutely. I think this is going to hit you in your soft spots otherwise. So good screening is important. I do think. I mean, a lot of its power is in its ability to deliver from reserves. Yeah. And armies like that, like demons, like GSC, are sometimes vulnerable to being screened out or having kind of limits to where they can apply, not getting in the midboard quick enough. So there's going to be a balance to strike, I think, for Tyranid players to get the most out of it. And what I'm really interested in is what's on board, what's in reserves, how hard do you lean into what the detachment does? I don't quite know.
And the fact that it can keep flipping, like you could push on your expansion side. Once that's a great success, flip it to the other side.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. That feels very fun and engaging.
Completely.
And it means that the game isn't then just like, right, I'm there now. I have to spend the entire rest of the game getting across the battle.
Yeah, exactly. I think there's a bunch of slower stuff or chunkier stuff that can now get places, which I think is interesting. I think the fact that anything can come out of a tunnel is really, really good. Scott Oliver in the chat says, you've heard of Upsal Warriors, now it's time for Upsal Raveners. I mean, why not both? Fill your boots. But yeah, this is going to punch really, really hard. And then, I say a lot of the units we're talking about, they're not that durable. It's not got like the 5-up feel no pain or any of the crazy stuff from Invasion Fleet for being durable, but I think it's going to do a lot of damage on its terms.
Yeah.
And then it's got all the other tricks and tools that Tyranids have at its disposal as well. So,
and I guess it can all be used quite defensively as well. That once you've got a tunnel set up, redeployed everything across, you just shunt them like a big pack of gaunts or gargoyles over there through a tunnel, and suddenly you've screened out them getting onto the objective that you've kind of set your hole by. So
completely,
nice.
yeah. Gargoyles in this are actually quite funny, obviously, yeah. Because if you're coming in 6 inches away from stuff and you have 6-inch shoot and scoot, you can get a lot. You know, you can get right up in the opponent's grill with gargoyles if you want to block an area.
Anywhere, then.
This is the thing with this. It's like, I think you can basically use any combination of the Tyranid units as long as you have Raveners, Morlock, Trygon to get the detachment going. What you do with the rest of it is going to be really interesting to see, because that could be guns, that could be horde, that could be monsters, that could be warriors. You know, there's all sorts of different angles you can cover. And it's going to have a bit of that demon's energy hitting you out of reserves really hard, causing trouble, and then it's obviously more fragile than demons in that sense. So that's going to be, if anything, that would be the interesting to see, is like, can it withstand the counter punch once it's delivered? But yeah, I just think it looks really good, and obviously having a whole Tyranids army on you and then getting shadows is painful.
Yeah. I need to reroll battle shocks.
Yeah, you do.
In my army now, weirdly.
So I think it's really thematic as well. It feels incredibly flavorful, right?
And it's a play style that I saw a lot of people trying to do early in the edition with Trygons, and it just and Morlocks, and it just didn't work.
Yes,
so
exactly.
Giving them a detachment to enable that is really exciting, because it is a cool thing if you can pull it off.
Completely.
But
yeah, they're some of the coolest units, right? Like, by some distance, I think, in Tyranids. And Raveners also are awesome, obviously getting the new kits, and this is going to juice them up real good. So yeah, I think there's loads going on with it. I think I can't really call what the list will look like exactly. It's clear what some of the things will be in it.
That's what's good about it then, right? The fact that it's not just, right, it's keyword locked into these 4 things. You're just going to only take them. The fact there's some great flexibility, I think, means that everyone can kind of burrow deep into it.
Yeah. It's going to be interesting, yeah. But between Death Shroud, Demons, then there's a lot of 6-inch deep strike stuff punching you in the face, and people are going to have to adapt and manage that and deal with those threats, I think.
And it is a game about movement at the end of the day, so them being all about positions and redeploys and stuff, that's exciting. So.
Completely, yeah. And Tyranids had a really good couple of slates, but they had a quiet one last time, didn't they? They didn't get a ton. So I think this is a really nice gift. I think the Warriors detachment didn't really capture people's imaginations, as fun as that was. So yeah, I think this is going to be awesome. I think we're going to see a lot of it out there, and I'm really excited to see Tyranids players enjoy it and get stuck into it. I think just embrace it, have a good time with it. Stop playing Invasion Fleet. You've done it for 2 years. Give yourself a nice break. Yeah, give yourself a nice little treat and try something different. Get some of those different models off the shelves. Bring a Norn out of a tunnel and put 15 OC on their home objective or their expansion or something ridiculous.
And then burn it because you're playing, playing the good game.
Yeah. Absolutely tons to do with it. Going to be really, really good. So yeah, I mean, I think that's all I have to say on it for now. Nid's got some other changes, Raveners, Psychophage, various different things, which we'll touch on in our live stream tonight at 8:30, where we're going to go through the data slate as a whole. But that is our initial sort of hot take on this detachment. I'm very excited. I think Nid's players should be very, very excited as well. Please do hit like and subscribe. Please do leave us a comment. If you want to be a legend like Phil W and sign up and become a YouTube member and support all this work we're doing, we'd love that. That's amazing. Our community is helping to fund our journey to the moon, and we would love to have you join us on that journey as well. But yeah, come check in. We'll be back. We've got one more detachment to cover. It's the Cabal of something for Chaos. It might be Cabal of Chaos. I don't know. I think it is. I think it is. The last one of the 3. So we will be back, I guess. I want to have some lunch, Scriv. Maybe we say 12:30.
Yep, perfect.
Get back at 12:30 and cover that. And then we will get working away on a bunch of reacts to all the other amazing stuff that's happened in this episode. Fantastic. Cheers for being on, Scriv. We will see you guys in a bit. Bye.